For those that want to check out the training videos, please do so by clicking on training. It'll open up another page just like this. It shows you how to register, monthly payment, the purchasing tokens, purchasing your tokens, background overview, campaigns and lead pages, and cyber business card, ladies and gentlemen. There'll be more training videos as we go along. Again, this is what we needed immediately in here to get a better understanding of your back office. I don't know if Sam Warren also wants to share with you his testimonial, what he has done, and I think yesterday, I believe it was. I'm not sure if he wants to. If you want to, Sam, by all means, to be a great time to explain or say what you've done and what the outcome what pretty much happened as you shared your lead page out there on the internet, because this is not only a mobile marketing platform. You can create lead pages within the system and get a return and get leads from that, and it's been working for a lot of our members. And Sam, you want to share with everyone that story? Or
Oh yeah, I'll just make it quick. I just been able to, through action and actually putting it out there and showing people how simple it is. The great additive was just making that personalized video and then putting it out there on Facebook and other places with social media. And once people actually seen that video and I was directing them on what to do, get logged in, put their information in, and I got some response. I mean, that day I had like six leads opt in and phone numbers and all. So, and I used the lead capture pages and the lead page inside our interactive mobile business card. And so now the only thing I have to do now is modify my personal welcome and thank you video, and send that back out to those people. And like I said, be surprised they actually put their real numbers in. I actually called their number and heard their voice message. So, you guys got to go for what you know. When we give you these materials, make sure you're using it. And that's our biggest statement is if you use it, you'll get the results. If you're not using it, then you're not going to get the results.
So that's it. That's pretty much what I wanted to share with you. I know many of you have asked for the training videos, messaging me through support ticket system, or been messaging me on Facebook asking me for the training videos. Now they're uploaded. They're here. They're ready to go. So go ahead and watch the videos. Again, the only way to really truly find out how something works is to get in there and start using it and figuring things out. But it's pretty much easy. It's pretty much easy peasy. I mean, you can get in there, create a video, put it on a business card, and start sending that out to your list immediately. It's very easy to do. It's a great way to interact with people. It's a great way to build rapport with individuals, whether they're in your business or not, or you're meeting them for the first time. It's a great way to introduce yourself. I mean, there's nothing better than building rapport when someone can actually see you, you're speaking. It's almost like you're right there. Business cards, traditional business cards don't do that. This system will do that. And again, I can almost guarantee you when you send it out, the business card to someone for the very first time, they're going to watch it multiple times. They may open it possibly between 2 and 4 times. It's happened because the testimonies that have been said to us, it's happened to me myself as well as Sam. We sharing our business cards out there with just regular folks, and next you know, we got 4 views. People are opening up, and you get notified when they do. So which is a great thing. So you've caught their attention somehow, some way. It's time for you to interact. It's time for you to engage with this individual. Find out what it is that they're most interested about. And then, again, this is a lead that you're getting, a lead system magnet, number 1. Number 2, a marketing system, number 3, as well as it's going to help you sell whatever it is you're selling. Okay, that's first and foremost, is to get whatever you have on your shelves out the door. Get people to buy whatever you have to offer. It could be anything, whatever you're selling today. Doesn't matter what platform or program you're promoting, this system will sell it for you. It's built for that. But that being said, the legacy's up and moving, ladies and gentlemen. We are definitely going to go ahead and touch up on some motivation today. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking, and we're going to get the 2 superstars of Monday. Mr. Sam Warren and Ray Main. So we'll go ahead and let them do their thing.
All right. Let me know if you see my screen.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to get into it. The first I want to start, as we always do, me and Ray Main. I got to get that one right. Me and Ray Main, we always contact each other, and you know, sometimes I come up with the word of the day for Monday, and sometimes Ray. For some reason, this word stuck out to me bigger than anything out there, and I wanted to pretty much lay this down as our foundation. This morning is sacrifice. The sacrifice is facing every entrepreneur. We know that to do business, you have to give up something. To be successful in business, you have to give up something, and you have to be willing to pay the price, because nothing worthwhile comes easy. A lot of us are still in our comfort zone. A lot of us are still scared to do what we know we need to do, whether it's popular or we might find ourselves unpopular. But today I want to start off with a video. It's about a 6-minute video just to get you lathered up a little bit. Then I'm going to come back and give you my short presentation. And then the man himself, Ray, the main man, shut him down, Mr. Guillotine, is going to come and he's going to give it to you guys. So make sure you have a little energy left when he comes on. So let me get this thing started. This is I took my information from Entrepreneur, which is a great magazine. You guys want to go out there and look at it. Richard Lorenzen, or whatever, is the guy who actually wrote the article. He's a CEO of Fifth Avenue Brands. And then I'm going to play this video. This is a YouTube video, and then I'm going to get into my presentation that I prepared for you guys. So let me know if you're hearing this and seeing this, guys. If it's
me, a tiger moth? Please.
Yes.
Really? Brittany's screaming for a 10-day coding camp in Switzerland.
All right. Is that as big as don't get? There we go.
What makes the difference in a quality?
Turn that up a little.
Why is it some people in business or even in life seem to have every advantage? Everything's been given to them. The right timing, the right market, the right technology, the right insight. We're just an average person. Did you ever notice how sometimes the people that were given everything, they were given love, support, education, money, very oftentimes those are the people that spend their life laying out of rehab. And then you see people that seem to have everything against them. You know, they didn't have the money, they didn't have the education, they didn't have the background. But something inside them was so hungry that they were driven to find answers. They were driven to find a way to add value to other people's lives, and they found a way to thrive, to succeed, to achieve, to contribute on a significant scale. What is that difference that makes the difference? I don't care how much money you make, you only get 24 hours in a day. And the difference between Oprah and the person that's broke is Oprah uses her 24 hours wisely. Don't let it go. See, and here's something else I want you to begin to look at. Why is it that most people don't pursue their dreams or don't do better than what they're doing if they're capable of doing it? I think that many of us don't go the next step because we don't know what to do yet. And I say that the reason that we don't even explore the possibility of what to do is because subconsciously we don't believe that it can happen for us, and we don't believe that we deserve it. Once you understand how valuable time is, you've begun a journey that you will not forget as long as you live. When I went to college, guys were way smarter than me. 4.0s, 3.0s, they went to the Ivy League high schools, came to Oakwood from these great high schools. Most of them are not doing what I'm doing. Why? Because it's not about where you come from. It's about hearts. You come to a place where, you know, being smart ain't enough. You got to have heart. How
much time do you spend working on you? How much time do you spend every day working on your dream? In the last 90 days, how many books have you read? In the last year, what new skill or knowledge have you acquired? What kind of investment have you made in you? So I'm saying that as you begin to look at where you want to go, if you want to make it today, and things are changing so fast, you have to literally run to stand still.
There's patterns that psychologically and emotionally make us not use our ability, make us get frustrated or angry, overwhelmed or uncertain or scared or fearful, and freeze up and not use that ability, that talent, that skill. And there are other patterns that will get you to own yourself, get you to be able to influence your own team, get you to influence customers.
In life, we all have to wait. It's through faith and patience that we inherit the promises. The key is to learn to wait the right way, not discouraged, upset, negative, it's never going to happen. No, the right way to wait is with expectancy. In other words, I know my set time is coming.
What's the benefit of allowing fear to hold you back? What's the benefit of giving up on yourself, of not stepping out on life and taking life on? What is the benefit for you? What's the plus in that? It's one of the things I had to ask myself. So I didn't want to make any mistakes. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted to be perfect the first time I did something. It's not going to happen. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to hurt some folks' feelings. You're going to create some enemies whenever you decide that you want to begin to take life on. You've got to ask yourself, how long am I going to allow this to hold me back? I like what Zig Ziglar says. He said, fear is false evidence appearing real. That is an illusion that we create in our mind. It is a state of mind that can be changed. So let's look at how we can begin to take some steps to restructure that fear.
All right, I got to say this. I got to take my time because I want to make sure you get this. If you only have 24 hours in a day, your success is dependent upon how you use the 24.
All right, there you have it. So hopefully you saw that video. If you guys saw anything, if you felt anything, if something stirred up inside you, I don't know what it might be, type it into the chat over there. Let me know if you was inspired in any way of what you just saw. I was inspired. You know, are you working on yourself? Are you guys working on yourself? Are you investing in yourself? This is the reason why we have the teachings and we do the things that we do in $25 Legacy. Talked to Ray this morning, talked to him about, went to events and people spent thousands of dollars to go to the event, to get training, to learn how to be that entrepreneur. And it seems like we're getting shortchanged. We're not getting the meat and potatoes that we're looking for. We're still getting the same old baby food. Everywhere you go, it's all hype. There's no real structure. This is the reason why we came to help the industry, me and Ramon and myself and the people that show up here every day, is to give you guys something that you can really hold on to. Something, some direction, some guidance, some tools. If you've seen my new backdrop, I believe in products and I believe in all those things. But the man that has the marketing tools can change the industry, get out in front of it. What are you doing Are you working on yourself? Are you working on your dreams? Are you investing in yourself? I want to know, are you doing those things? Are you just making excuses? I want to talk about 6 sacrifices facing every entrepreneur. We all know that being an entrepreneur is tough and that it takes mental, physical, and emotional toll. We hear so many motivational speakers and experts throw around the term like commitment, sacrifice, getting out of your comfort zone. But most new entrepreneurs continue to underestimate what actually it takes, the price of being successful, of what it could be. Not being prepared to go all the way in and paying in on it. You know, if you're not prepared to go all the way in, I always make the reference, you know, some of us been doing this since 1991. Why do you think it's been so long? Because we haven't decided. We haven't made the real sacrifices. We haven't wanted to make those sacrifices. So I would urge most of the business to do not actually fail due to the lack of sales, capital, and experience. They fail because the founders underestimate the price that they will have to pay before achieving all of those things. By having a better idea from the start of what the price you will need to pay to reach your goal, you will be better prepared, especially mentally and emotionally, to face the challenges that you will inevitably face on your way to success. And I tell people like Michael Jordan, you see what he did, his finished product, but you never saw the free throws that he took and how he would not leave the gym unless he made a certain amount of free throws, not attempted. He had to make a certain amount before he would. We never see the sacrifices. We always see the reward. And that is some of our biggest problems in entrepreneurs is we want the blessing, but we're not willing to do the work that it costs. Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to invest in yourself, to really build that entrepreneurship, that business that you can have to retire your family, to help other people, to change their lives? I'm not saying any of this is negative or discouraging. I'm not saying any of this in a negative or discouraging way here. I am the first person to encourage almost anybody to become an entrepreneur. Now, I'm letting you guys know I'm reading from his perspective. This is not me talking. I'm just reading from his perspective, the guy that wrote this. All right? Do what it takes to succeed. I firmly believe we all have what it takes to achieve a degree of success if we skill up properly and prepare. That's it. I say it all the time. It's the skills that pay the bills. Getting lucky in the lottery, falling behind a champion leader, getting spillover, that is not it. You have to skill up. You have to learn the skills. And sometimes it's discouraging when I hear people say, I'm learning, I'm using the tools. Yeah, that's great too, but you need to take action as well. You need to do both. You need a combination of both. Prepare for the roller coaster that is entrepreneurship. And when you do hit those tough curves and highs and lows, you will know it's coming and be prepared to take it on. Here are some sacrifices that I think are more commonly underestimated. Keep in mind there aren't absolute rules. There very well are people out there who have figured out how to have their cake and eat it too. But if you're going to step into the ring of entrepreneurship, you need to prepare for the fight. You see, I got your little picture here for them gloves. You guys ready to put the gloves on? Number one, the social life. How many of you guys don't have no social life? I don't have no social life. My family goes to cookouts. I stay at home. I'm in my brand new home. I like to be by myself. I like to be in my office. I like to work. I like my wife to go do what she do because that way she allows me to do what I do. Because I know I do a little work, 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 I get paid. Sooner or later, I do a little work, I do a little work, I get paid. Then sooner or later, I do a little work, I get paid, and then eventually I just get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid. You know why? Because I did the work. When everybody else was out here playing, having a good time, I put in the work. At least in every stage of launching your company, you can almost likely kiss most of your social life goodbye. If you're looking for that, you know what? You're not looking for success. Friendships will suffer. The best ones will stay by you, but you have to realize that overcome the massive odds against you when starting a company. It takes long hours, long nights, and early mornings. This doesn't always leave you much time to hang out and go to the club. This morning I was up at 5 o'clock. I went to bed at 12 o'clock. I only got 4 hours of sleep. And I did my presentation. I post up on Facebook. What's the difference between me and you? Nothing. I'm willing to pay the price to get the reward. That's the only difference. Hopefully I'm talking to somebody this morning. Sacrifice. Success takes sacrifice. There it is, $25 Legacy Tools. I'm putting my commercial in there, .com. Make sure you get there and get you some tools to help you so you don't have to stay up. And if you're staying up, you're maximizing your time frame. But you can see the people in the club having a good time. You might miss out on that. But it's a price you have to pay. You invest now to reap later. Sleep. Just talked about it. See the guy? He's hitting the alarm clock. Boom, boom, boom. Don't want to get up because he knows he has to get up. He got to get ready. He got to go. Here, there's one aspect of life that will be impacted most by becoming an entrepreneur. It's probably your sleep habits. Hopefully you don't need a whole lot of sleep. If you do, learn how to get by on less. I sleep 5 hours at night, and I have many successful friends who sleep even less than that. They are only 24 hours in a day, so when you are putting up 14 hours a day at the office, those hours need to come from somewhere. And I know a lot of you guys, I'm not doing that. My health means most to me. Yeah. If it does, then hey, health does mean a lot. But guess what? I give up a little now so I can get more later. Now, it's a sacrifice. When I'm at home and I can work out at any time, I can work out, I can go to the spa, I can get my nails, my toes done, I can get the back massages, I can go to the finest places, I can eat the finest meals, I can get all the health products. Why? Because I sacrifice. But some people aren't willing to give up nothing. Nothing. You're going to have plenty of time to sleep when you leave here. There's going to be plenty of time for you to sleep when you leave here. Hope somebody is listening to me. Plenty of time. You need to take advantage of the blessing you've been given, which is daylight, for where you can be up and you can work in the vineyard like nobody else can. And you can reap the benefits. And this is what this is the entrepreneur's mindset. The comfort zone. The comfort zone is a deadly place and should become your public enemy. Anytime you're starting to feel comfortable, you're probably not growing fast enough. And good indicator of whether or not you're falling back into your comfort zone is looking at the problems in your face. If you have no problems or the same problems, you are stuck. If you are consistently creating new problems for yourself, you are growing. That's where you want to be. Don't do what's comfortable and reasonable. Carl Walenda said, life lives out on the wire, and the rest is just waiting. And as you guys are seeing, I know you've seen this diagram before, your comfort zone, 90% of the population is right here in this circle. Just like everyone else, mediocrity life, surviving, getting by, fear, depression, settling for less, what if I fail mentality, just being average. And then the other 10% is fearless, moving, making wealth, confident in what they're doing, living their dreams, achieving their dreams, I mean, excitement, fulfillment, having the lifestyle, prosperity, security. I mean, the sky's the limit. Financial freedom. But to get there, you have to get outside of your comfort zone. That's why we say nothing worthwhile comes easy. If you're in the easy peasy laid back zone, then guess what? You're not getting what's worthwhile right now. You got to get over there, get uncomfortable. That's getting on up early in the morning, talking to people, getting on these calls, having webinars, doing the grunt work, so to speak, getting on social media, posting, doing all those things, writing, blogging, those things that nobody wants to do. Everybody wants to get behind a Ramon or Ray Main or Miss Pat and get spillover and say, look what I've done. But guess what? You're not going to do that long term if you're not out here getting the skills, learning how to become a true winner, an entrepreneur to teach other people. Your sanity, number 5. There will be many times when you feel like you're sacrificing your mental sanity. People will call you crazy, weird, insane, and obsessed. Sometimes you even question the risks you're taking. All I can say about this is a quote from George Bernard Shaw. This reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt to the world himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. Pull this quote out whenever you feel pressured to conform to what is reasonable. And I, what? I look at back in my life from when I was a little guy, and this has always been my circle. I've never been a follower of any type of sort. I always was the guy that was always in the group trying to push things along or trying to interject. Hey, maybe, I thought that was maybe because, just crazy and a little bit different. But I see this is the combination of a lot of people who are willing to sacrifice and become. It's not crazy. It's not that you're weird. It's not that you're obsessed. It's just you're different. People can't see you as the same as them. So number 6, last and not least, popularity. If that was another trait that I never really listened to. I wanted to have the shoes, the Jordans. Well, back in the day, we didn't have Jordans. It was Converse. So I didn't really have Converse. We had bubbleheads, and I had bubbleheads. But guess what? Those bubbleheads was the best stylish bubbleheads you could. I would make you want to get bubbleheads because that's just the way I was. Because I knew that I didn't have to be the popular. I didn't have to do what everybody else did. When all the other people would go one direction in the crowd, I would go the opposite direction. That was something that I saw at an early age, and there are a lot of people out there just like me. And I always had the heart of the entrepreneur. So that's something I can say within me. I could see that trait at a early age, and maybe you might see that in some people around you as well. That they're not always trying to be the most popular person. They're not always trying to be in the know. And like I said, when they're out partying and doing things, sometimes you might have to make that sacrifice and just do what you have to do for your business, for your family, and for you and everyone else. This is it's tough for many founders, but leadership is not a popularity contest. As a leader, your responsibility is to make decisions that are best for long-term success of the company and the team. This includes the tough decision that nobody else wants to make or embrace. There will be many times when a tough decision makes you unpopular in the short term. This is part of the price of leadership. As an entrepreneur, you need to be comfortable with being unpopular. So that was my last slide, and this is where I want to finish up. $25 Legacy, co-CEO Sam Warren, and my partner Ramon Escalera. We've learned in this past year that we had to make a lot of decisions that was uncomfortable and unpopular, but that is the price of entrepreneurship and the price of leadership. You have to be willing to make the sacrifice. And that is where Zig Ziglar said most, if you're willing to help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And I want to leave that with you guys. Are you making the sacrifices? Are you investing in yourself? Are you learning the skills to pay the bills? Make sure you continue to fall in with $25 Legacy. Make sure you take these trainings and take this motivation, these things that we're putting out to you. Don't just absorb it, but share it with other people. Make sure you share it with your teams and your family. I call teams is families, because family, people can't quit family. They can quit teams. So make them your family. We all family in our community right here. So I want to turn it over to Ray. And hopefully Ray is going to go and clean it up a little bit for all those people that went to sleep on me. And then we'll open up at the end for you guys if you guys want to have a little talk session with us this morning.
Well, I'm satisfied that most people would say, that's on this call, would say that they have, received what they needed this morning already. Do you see my screen? I don't see it.
Yes, sir.
You do? How come I don't see it?
I see free conference call. There you go.
How about that? You see sacrifice?
Gotcha.
All right. Well, San hit me with this late last night.
Late.
Like he said, he was up late. He was up early. I was up early as well. I woke up about 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning thinking about sacrifice. What does sacrifice mean to you? And this is just some thoughts that I wrote down. Of course, I went out on the internet like I always do, and I found something. I told Sam a while ago that the laws of probability said sooner or later we was going to pick the same thing, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I had some thoughts on sacrifice. What does that mean, and everything. And sacrifice means different things to different people, depending on what they value. What I consider a sacrifice might not be a sacrifice to you at all. For instance, Warren Buffett could sacrifice a $100 bill and give it to somebody else. For Mr. Buffett, with all the money it's claimed that he has, that would be no sacrifice at all. But to somebody who was hungry, it could mean everything. Scripture says there's no greater love than for a man to lay down his life for a friend. We hear of our men and women in uniform, military or domestic, doing that every day. And it isn't only the military. You hear people doing that in everyday life as well. People risking their lives in raging rivers, burning buildings and cars to save someone and or even animals when technically it isn't their job to do so. Why do they do that? Could it be that they value something greater than themselves? I think so. I personally believe that this is something that God placed in man, and it can be both beautiful and tragic at the same time. That's only one type of sacrifice, though. There are several different types, and if we're in business together, we should talk about some of those. Haven't you heard time and again in different ways, be willing to give up your time and work hard now so that you'll be able to live the life that you want later? Sam was just going over that. Here are some excerpts, and I took a little freedom with this article. I edited part of it and all, but it's an article by somebody called Brett and Kate McKay entitled The Law of Sacrifice. What is sacrifice? When we hear the word sacrifice, we often think of completely selfless acts in which someone does something for another entirely for the other person's benefit. The image of a soldier sacrificing his life for his comrades frequently comes to mind. But sacrifice isn't purely altruistic. The best definition of sacrifice is this: to forfeit something for something else considered to have a greater value. Sacrifice does not mean giving up something for nothing. It means giving up one thing for something else we believe is worth more. This does not at all take away from the virtue of sacrificial acts. Instead of locating the merit of sacrifice in unselfishness, we can find it in a man's chosen value system. The man who lays down his life for his family or for his comrades has chosen to place more value on their lives than on his own. What's more praiseworthy than that? So if that's the definition of sacrifice, what's the law of sacrifice? The law of sacrifice says you cannot get something you want without giving up something in return. In order to attain something you believe is of greater value, you must give up something you believe is of lesser value. Society today tries to deny the law of sacrifice at every turn, promising people that they can fulfill their desires without having to forsake anything at all. Lose weight without giving up your favorite foods. Get ripped without long workouts. Get rich without having to work hard. The denial of the law of sacrifice is at the heart of things like our soaring credit card debt, not to mention our national debt. The fantasy that you can have whatever you'd like without ever paying for it is an incredibly seductive fantasy. And I would wager, I'll throw this in here, I would wager that at least a half a dozen times a day, at the very least, on Facebook, those of you that are on Facebook, that you see someone posting some kind of an opportunity, no work involved, no recruiting, no sales, free to join, make millions of dollars. That sounds good, but it doesn't ever work, you know. But it's only a fantasy. There's always a price to pay. If you want to lose weight, you have to give up junk food. If you want to get ripped, you have to work out regularly. If you want the nice things in life, you have to work hard and save your money. Sure, sometimes fame and good fortune seemingly drop into somebody's lap. The law of sacrifice is not as irrevocable as, say, the law of gravity, but as Frederick Douglass said, a man at times gets something for nothing, but it will, in his hands, amount to nothing. For proof of this, see the cases of folks who win the lottery and then squander it away. This is the beauty of the law of sacrifice. Not only is it the only path to achieving your goals, but the path itself prepares you to handle life at the top. Sacrificing not only gets you to your goals, but hones and shapes you as a man along the way. A man's ability to see through the cultural smokescreen that obscures the law of sacrifice is absolutely vital for a couple of reasons. First, the denial of the law of sacrifice keeps a man from progressing in life. To reach your goals, you must move forward, which necessitates leaving some things behind. But the man who believes he can get whatever he desires without sacrifice tries to hold on to everything in an attempt to have it all. Instead of moving forward, he is stretched out horizontally and sitting on the fence. Failing to understand the law of sacrifice also leads to a life of restlessness and regret. When you believe you can have whatever you want without giving up anything in return, you can never fully embrace and enjoy your choices. For example, sometimes I'll have a moment where I miss the freedom of my childless days, but would I give up my child to return to that time? Absolutely not. I sacrifice one thing, more freedom, for something I believe has greater value, a child. Great unhappiness arises when we fail to acknowledge the necessity of sacrifice and subconsciously hold the idea in our heads that we can have both things at the same time. You must embrace the fact that there are trade-offs in life and that you can't have one thing without giving up another. The world-class athlete or musician gives up time spent with family and friends for him spent honing their talent. The converted religious man gives up old habits for his new faith. The blockbuster author gives up anonymity for fame and fortune. The burned-out employee gives up his six-figure corporate salary to become a high school teacher. I ran across a story one time about this concert pianist. They asked him how much time that he spent in practice, being as he was and I can't remember his name. I apologize for that. But I remember the story. They asked him how much time did he spend practicing, being as he was now a world-famous concert pianist. And he said he practiced 10 hours a day. And they said the people that were interviewing him, they were just amazed at that. He said, if I miss one day of practice, now this guy played the piano all the time. He said, if I miss one day of practice, 10 hours a day, he said, I can tell the difference. If I miss 2 days of practice, said everybody else can tell the difference. Now just consider that story and consider what you are doing with your time during the day. Are you putting in that much dedication? Are you putting in that kind of time? I would probably be pretty safe in saying none of us are. Like Sam was talking a while ago about Michael Jordan. These guys, think about the people that go to the Olympic Games. They spend years and years and years, hours and hours and hours every day honing and practicing and trying to get to where they're wanting to go. Do you have that kind of determination? That's up to you. You know, only you can answer that. Here's a thought, and this kind of hit me, and that's the reason why I went over that as much as I did. It says, if you are unhappy in your choice, it's because you chose something that you do not really believe to have a higher value than that which you left behind. The law of sacrifice reveals and operates according to our personal value system. If we don't have a cut physique, it's because we value the freedom to eat whatever we'd like more than six-pack abs. If we don't have a 4.0 GPA, it's because we value time spent with friends more than grades. If you've ever wondered why you lack the discipline to attain a certain goal, it is likely because in your heart of hearts, you don't really value that goal as much as you think you do. I want to read that last part again, and I'd really like for y'all to really think about this. Look at it from your own personal viewpoint, where you're at and what you're attaining. Where are you at in your walk? Where are you at as far as your goal is concerned? If you've ever wondered why you lack the discipline to attain a certain goal, it is likely because in your heart of hearts, you don't really value that goal as much as you think you do. That hit me pretty hard. At the end of the day, then, the most important question we should ask ourselves when evaluating our dreams, desires, and goals may not be, what am I willing to do to attain them, but what am I willing to give up? Think about that. I found this little graphic that seemed to fit in with this. If you don't sacrifice for what you want will be the sacrifice. How about that? All right, that's all I've got for you. Hope I didn't hit you too hard.